Hey everyone, it's the Frugal Father here. I am hopeful and prayerful and grateful that you all are here on this channel tonight um, when I'm filming this. I hope that you guys have been saving money, investing money, getting yourselves out of debt, preparing yourselves financially, creating that emergency fund, and most importantly is stocking your pantry, making sure that you have some extra food on the shelves for any reason, whether it's due to inflation, potential job loss, whatever the case may be. Make sure that that pantry is stocked. All right, in today's video, we're going to go over 18 things that you should have in your will that maybe you may not have thought about when you're sitting down in front of that attorney to help prepare you, or that you did it yourself, but you just didn't think about all those other entities that go into your will outside of kind of, the normal things we think about are our house, our bank accounts, and maybe a car, things like that we see and touch every single day. All right, so let's get into it. So number one, digital assets. What are digital assets? That's online banks, online brokerage accounts, online treasury accounts, anything like that. Make sure that you have that documented and that you have those passwords in a safe place, but an accessible place for the person you want in charge of your assets. Social media accounts. We all have Facebook, we all have Instagram, TikTok, whatever the social media is today, and then whatever the social media will be in the future. Make sure that you have instructions of delete my account or keep it active, whatever the case may be, but make sure that you have those documented. That is something new. Something else, blockchain assets. If you are into cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, XRP, any of the other digital Bitcoin space assets, cryptocurrency assets, make sure that you have that documented as well. And that you, again, have passwords and things like that accessible to folks so that they can use that. All right. Next one we're getting into personal sentiments or letters. Something new. Do you want to write a personal note to a loved one and have them read it after you've passed? Do you want to leave a note to your kids, pets, whatever your situation is? Maybe to talk about your family, how much you cared for them, things like that, and where those letters are going to be. Because again, if people don't know where your stuff is, then they may just throw it out and think it's just some old piece of paper and move it forward. So if you want to leave those, make sure people know where they are. Subscription services and memberships, that includes like Netflix or Hulu. If you have meal service, if you have anything like that, make sure that that person knows to cancel them so that they're not getting hit with these reoccurring fees. Or if you end up in the hospital or things like that, just make sure that you have a plan of what you want. Do you want those subscriptions to stop or to just be temporarily paused? Next, online businesses. Lots of folks are starting online businesses. I highly recommend it. I think it's a great way for you to promote your craft, your art, what you have to say. But always remember that that online business is still a business, and make sure that people know how it works if you want to pass it down to them. Or if you want it shut down after you have passed on, then by all means, please write all those instructions of how it is to shut down that business. All right. Next, we have loans and debts owed to you. So any type of loan that you have, whether it is a mortgage, credit card, a personal loan, a home equity line of credit, whatever it is, make sure that you've listed those out. Make sure you have account numbers on there, points of contact, maybe the origination date, when it's supposed to be paid off, balances, whatever it is. Make sure you at least have it listed so that, people know, like, yes, I have credit card debt, or yes, I still have a mortgage, or whatever the case may be. Educational trust. setting those up. They're an excellent way for your children or grandchildren or nieces or nephews or cousins or whomever to access funds for college. We all know that education is not getting any cheaper. But if you want those things set up, set those up ahead of time and communicate your wishes to those that are going to oversee that account of what you want this money dispersed to those folks and what you want them to use it for. Okay. Funeral and burial wishes. If you can prepay things, if you can buy a cemetery plot ahead of time or a headstone, please go ahead and do that. Loved ones are going through a lot emotionally. They're tired. But if you can go ahead and make those choices ahead of time, go ahead and do it. You get to see where you're going to go, what it's going to look like, all that stuff. And your funeral. My aunt, she prepaid for everything. All they had to do was write the check for, any little miscellaneous fees that weren't covered in the prepaid cost of everything. And she picked out everything she wanted. Outfit down to the whole funeral process. So definitely recommend talking that through. Pet care instructions. Do you have a pet? And what do you want their future to look like? Hopefully not to a rescue, but again, what do you want to happen to your pet? So make sure that you have those instructions laid out to those for your pet. Organ and body donation. Again, making sure that that's current. It's still what you want. Most states you can put on your driver's license, but if you want it to go somewhere specific, make sure that you have it documented, draw up the proper paperwork if there is any, to make sure that your wishes are executed correctly. Personal archives. What are personal archives? Distribute things like your journals, letters, photos, family photos. Where do you want those things to go? Or do you want everybody to have a copy of photos or family trees or things like that? So kind of getting those things in order, making sure that you have things in a folder labeled correctly, so that when you want to give it to them while you're still alive, or again, after you've passed on, that everything is labeled and somebody can go in and quickly and easily hand the information directly over to that person. Family heirlooms, that's another thing. Whether it's paintings, whether it's a homemade lamp, whether it's jewelry, whatever it is that you want passed down, make sure it's documented. Again, whether you want to put it in a will or you want to put it in an addendum, just make sure it's documented. I want my child to get X. I want my brother or sister to get Y. Make sure it's documented. And make sure maybe you can take a picture of that item and attach it to that document so they can clearly see, yes, these are the right earrings, or yes, this is the right fishing rod, or whatever the case may be. Business partnerships. So if you have a business partnership, what do you want that to happen to your portion of the business? Do you want it to be sold? Do you want it to be passed down to your heirs? What do you want that to look like? Intellectual property. Do you have a copyright or a patent or a trademark? What happens to that once you pass on? Are there royalties paid out continuously to your heirs? What does that look like for your intellectual property? Charitable donations. Do you want to give money to charity once you've passed on? If you do, please specify that charity and specify the amount. Make sure, again, it is documented. Even though you verbally tell someone, at the end, they may or may not execute your wishes. Any unfinished creative work. Do you still have a book that needs to be published? Do you still have songs that need to be published? If you do, what is the process to getting it done? So make sure that that is laid out and documented. Personal collections. These are valuables, sentiments, things that you've collected over time, whether you acquired it through travel, whether you've acquired it through family heirlooms, whatever it is. What do you want your personal collections? Where do you want them to go? Are they figurines? Are they, antique cars? What is your personal collection? Messages and advice, you can record those now. It's kind of like personal letters. You don't have to write it out, but you can digitally record things and send those messages out, after you've passed on. So these are all the different things to think about in addition to the normal things we think about when we're making a will. If there's anything that I left out, please comment below so that others in the community can learn. Wills are, they're a great tool as we're moving from one part of our life to another part of our life. So again, this is just going to give you a list of different things to think about that you may not have thought about when you were making one, or if you're getting ready to make one, to add these to your list. So I hope everybody is doing great. I hope you all found some great nuggets of information in here. I wish you all a great week, and I will see you in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and definitely comment. Take care, guys.